welcome back. This is going to be a general hobby update for what's been going on over the last 2 weeks, some new stuff I've got, what I'm going to be working on, and of course a little bit of coverage of the tournament I went to. So let's dive in. First off, you're not going to be able to see this, but the camera I'm recording this with is new. I was recording with my Samsung and it was an old model, so you know it did the job, but it meant I could only record in 20-minute segments at the absolute most, and if I wanted to record in say 4K I could only record in 10-minute segments. No good. So I decided to upgrade to a decent webcam, and this is a Logitech Brio Bio. I'm going to have a link to it in the description, and I've also attached that to 2 ball joints with 1 in 4 threads and a microphone boom arm, again with a 1 in 4 thread. So it means I can angle it anywhere. I'm not going to move the camera, but when I tap the desk, the camera doesn't bounce absolutely everywhere like it did before. I'm even going to tap the mic on now. And look at that, steady in a second. Fantastic. So I'm hoping this will give me a lot better videos. And also for my audio, I'm not using my phone to record the sound anymore. I'm using a AGP Tech lapel mic. So again, hopefully that feeding straight into my computer, along with the webcam feeding straight to the computer, being recorded using OBS Labs, is going to mean I can produce much better videos. So I'm very new to it. It's going to be very rough to start with, but hopefully when I progress we should get some better quality. Anyway, that's the new equipment. I've got a few items on order. I've ordered myself a new 3D printer because I still have a Anycubic Photon, the original, the OG. It's done well, and it's allowed me to print like things like my 3D roller. So that's been used on some of the bases that you might remember, like Shellac C and my Keeper C Quintus, and it's done pretty well. But I actually want to produce miniatures that are going to stand up to a nice bit of painting. It means I can print out miniatures for some of my friends, my sister, who I think it's going to be a great way of my sister having access to the hobby, because she doesn't quite have the ability just to dive right in, financially speaking, because it is a big money outlay. You're looking anywhere from what, £150 sterling to 500 quid. I mean, the sky's the limit with how much you can spend on it, and that's just that iteration of the book. That's not including the books that she'd have to buy. So I'm thinking this will just means if I get a second army quickly, I can just smack some stuff on a table, she can use it. And some of my friends that aren't into Age of Sigmar purely for a financial reason will have access to the game, so it might pique their interest. So, you know, I'm hoping that's going to have a lot of benefits, and it will mean I can print out some nice bust size miniatures and have a go at painting larger scale, so I can practice some of my painting techniques like light placements, non-metallic metals, but on a larger surface. So hopefully I can develop some skills with it. I can also, because of this webcam, hopefully do some painting online, but that's for future videos. Anyway, the printer I'm getting is an Anycubic Photon Mono X 6K, so it's fairly good printer. I'm yet to see the actual results in person, so I can't give you a definite this is how good this is, but hopefully we'll have some printing videos on the channel. We'll just have to wait for it to arrive. I believe it's going to take a month. I think it was the 10th of next month it arrives. And I'm looking at resins at the moment, so the resin I'm thinking is going to be potentially just the standard Anycubic grey resin. Found no reason not to use it, so I'm going to use that. Hopefully I can get some decent results. I'm going to be using that on Linktree's new slicing software, version 3.6.6, which has been, I believe, version 3.6.1, maybe 2, one of them anyway, has allowed the Anycubic, well, the Mono X 6K to be used because it wasn't available before. So we should get some good prints. I've also got a wash and cure station from Anycubic turned up. Now, before I used to just dip it into a tiny little plastic tub with a bit of IPA and I'd scrub it with a toothbrush, but it's not the best. It doesn't clean it very well. This I can just whack it in a basket, turn a dial, say I want it to be clean for 2 minutes, and it will just swirl the isopropyl alcohol, which is what I'll be using round, and job should be a good one. So hopefully I'll be getting better prints that way. Now, and some of the stuff that I bought, what am I working on at the moment? So I've got a nice collection of stuff in front of me. First off, we've got this cow spawn that I noticed had mould lines, so I scraped them off, as you can see. Let's just get that a little closer here. It's all patchy, and then some pieces fell off because the glue apparently wasn't the best bond in the world, so it just came off. It's been redone. It's all ready to be primed. The way I'm thinking of painting this one, unlike my other spawn, is I'm going to do it a bit like my demonettes, and the reason for that, it's got a big claw. I think that's a demonette claw, so she's going to bless this spawn like a demon. A demonette, I should say. Now, this one. Two good reasons for this. First, I can say what I'm going to be doing with it. I'm going to be stripping this off with a very bare minimum. I'm going to be doing the top half because I unfortunately left it out. Let's see if we can actually capture this. No, is it not going to? I can manually focus this in. I'm not going to. Around here, we've got loads of fluff caught in the paint. I don't like that, so we're going to strip that off. Reprime. I'm going to prime in a lighter grey, so hopefully we can get it looking a bit more like the demon skin I've got on other models. Should be fine, shouldn't be an issue. Right. Now, this lot. So my friend Chris has decided that he wants to run a few games of Full Tilt, which was a Games Workshop game for Warhammer Fantasy back in White Dwarf. Gosh, I want to say 214. Could be very wrong on that, but an old White Dwarf, and it was a team. It was red team versus blue team. Have a team of 6 knights each, and they joust. You pick cards, and you can employ tactics. Say what your knight's going to do. They can dodge. They can go for the head. Very much like real jousting, you score points on how many lances you break. Well worth it. The rules are available online. So I needed knights for it. Now obviously I can't get Bretonians anymore, at least not viably. I didn't have my 3D print, or at the time I purchased these, I wasn't 100% I was getting a new 3D printer, and my photon take too long, or I'm not sure it printing the detail I would want for doing miniatures. So need a team of 6 knights, but in this set you get 12. The bonus of that is it means I can have a team of 6 and my sister can have a team of 6, so I'll just make up 12 knights, and then she can have, I'll paint them up for her, she can just have the other half, and we'll have a great few nights of gaming. So what knights are these? Okay, this at the back. These are Albion's Knights from 5 Forge Games. As you can see, 12 hard plastic 28mm figures. Now I paid £18.70. Don't know if that's the RRP for them, but I'd say at a ballpark you're probably looking £25 or under. Or that might be the RRP, I don't know. Anyway, let's just have a quick look at the set. So you get 6 of these sprues with 2 horses on each and a choice of heads. I'll only be using these because I want to paint the heraldry that matches the rider on the horses, so it just gives me more surface to do that. If we take those off. And we have 3 of these sprues. So you get, I'll turn it around. So you get 4 lance arms, which is good because despite the fact you get quite a few of the arms to hold weapons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so you get 5 arms. There's only 4 bodies per sprue. So that's nice. You have a choice of which ones you want to choose. You also get 3 shields with the arms attached, and then 3 shields without the arms attached. So I imagine you can do some nice stuff, and then you've got the arms here for better posing. 4 bodies, we'll just turn that around. 4 bodies, nothing too fancy. Not sure if it's going to show any detail on here, but you can see all the chainmail work. It's quite nice. separate capes. It's a really cool thing that this company does, and they've done it on their historical line, Des Vault, I believe it is. You can choose whether you put the cloaks on, you just put it on before you put the helmet on. It's quite nice. And then the helmets. Now, because this is from their fantasy line, you've got some really over the top, like horned helmets and everything. Obviously, I'm going to be using those. You've got a little bearded one. It's really cool. And then some pauldrons, I believe they're called, go over the shoulder. So it's quite nice. So you get 3 sprues of that. Again, because we're doing jousting, I'll only be using lances. That's fine. So hopefully they're going to get made up in the next few weeks. I'll do a video on them. They're all going to be individually painted for heraldry wise, because I want them to be different. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to have a matching theme per group of 6, because I might have them all from one Lord's lands, and these are his knights that are aspiring to gain favour. Who knows? Might even come up with a little backstory. I think I've got backstory for one of the knights, but I think it's amusing, so I might let my sister have that one. Yeah. So we've got those, and all I'm doing is I'm gluing them on. It does come with bases, but they're the very flat bases you get with a lot of historical miniature producers, which is what this company is. I've just gone for spare Games Workshop bases that came with some of my Slaanesh. So that's what I've got to keep me busy for the next few weeks. On top of that, I've also got Celeste that I had ought to be doing some work on, so that'll be a lot of fun. Lot to keep busy. This is going to take precedence, I feel, at the moment, because I have my Slaanesh army and the alternate army that I'm thinking of taking to games and tournaments. I've got fully painted, so don't need to worry about that. This is what's taking the precedence at the moment. The models themselves, as I say, like, you've got big gaps in the saddle. Can you focus? Yeah, like you've got a gap down the centre of the saddle. Sprue Goo can help sort that, but they're not like Games Workshop quality plastics. Don't assume they're going to be. These are for if you want slightly cheaper massed units, very reminiscent of the Warhammer Fantasy Battles from back in the day. Now, as I'm recording on OBS, we have the ability to swap scenes. So let's try this for the first time. Swap into the tournament results. So the tournament I went to was Sunday Slaughter number 7. It was at Glasshammer Gaming. A link for this and several other things will be in the description below. So at Glasshammer Gaming, I've been to the venue once before. It is absolutely fantastic. It's down in Telford. If you are in the area or you fancy a tournament to go to, because they run quite a few, not just for war games, I do believe they also run Magic tournaments and possibly some other card games, but can't quite be definite on that. So check out the website, all their information's on there. They have an events page where they sell tickets, so turn up if you can. Absolutely fantastic. So it was a one day, Age of Sigmar, 2,000 points, and I've already gone through my list on the show before of what I'm using, but what I haven't done is obviously gone through some of my opponents. So my first opponent was Matt Ansell. Now, Matt here had an awesome looking dragon army. It was so unbelievably synthwave neon pink. You could spot that thing from across the room. It was awesome, and it also helped that they're all on flight stands and they're all dragons. So really class. Now, Matt runs a podcast, and I do believe he's also on YouTube. I'm going to link his Linktree in the description below, so you can check out his Twitter. I believe the podcast is actually on Spotify, and you can subscribe to him on YouTube, so definitely give that a look. His army, if we set it, is this precisely. So, purple sparkly unicorns, March to War, what a name. It's really fitting. Brilliant army. He's a fantastic player, he knows what he's doing. Utter gent of the hobby. If ever you come across him as an opponent in a tournament, you're going to have a great game. Absolutely superb. And he ran Knight Draconis, 2 units of formed Storm Drake Guard, and you had 2 Storm Drake Guard. All of that was 1 dropped in a battalion. He gave the artifact, the Arcane Tome, to his Knight Draconis leader, So then obviously he gets a caster in there, gave him a flaming weapon. That was not needed in the game against me, as he was across the table in my deployment area. Turn 1 in combat, shooting, destroying stuff, as you can imagine dragons do. Got hammered, but gosh, it was a lot of fun. So thank you very much for that game, Matt. It was absolutely superb. I believe Matt went on to be 3rd of the entire tournament. Yep, so he went 3-0, same as 4 other people, and I believe it was purely down to just a few points. So shout out to Matt. At least I lost to somebody that's top-ended the tournament. Right, next opponent was Anoush, one of my friends who I turned up to the tournament with. He was running a lovely little Zinch list, so he had Lord of Change, Fate Weaver, Blue Scribes. He had a Herald of Zinch in there as well. As you can imagine, there's a hell of a lot of magic that's getting popped around. The Ender spells, he had Spell Portal, so he could fling his spells across the table. Chronomatic Cogs doing its thing, as you know. He then, for his battle line, had 3 units of 10 pink horrors. They're such a pain to get through. Yeah, 20 would have been, like units of 20 would have been nice, and 9 impossible to get through, but in our game, at least against me, those 10 horrors did the work. They just held up anything I threw into them, and it was just one big line across the table. I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't outflank because I was using Lurid Haze. I couldn't get behind him to try and get some of his characters. Screened out pretty nicely. Controlled the centre of the board, controlled all 3 objectives, just did what he needed to do. Couldn't do anything about it. I just could not break through his line. Had nothing to get over the top, so he got the win. Got that big W. Well done, Anoush. Right, moving on. And unfortunately, my last game, it was against a chap called Fish. My God, is he good to play against. One of my favourite games of Age of Sigmar, period, and I've had some good games of Age of Sigmar. He took a unit of Big Yellers, Bolt Boys. Now, unfortunately, he couldn't get the list submitted online in time, but he did submit it to the organiser. So I can't show you the exact list, but what I can do is show you an approximation of what I believe he used. It's 2,000 points on the dot, and this is everything I remember him using. So I can't do artifacts, unfortunately. I can't do his grand strategy, and I'm not too sure on the realm, but these are the units that he used. So it was 2 battle lines, 2 battle regiments, and had pretty much a 50-50 split all the way down. So he had a killer boss with a stab grot, 2 swamp caller shamans with pot grots. Those things were doing so much work. When they were putting the buffs onto the units of 9 man-skewered bolt boys, they reach out and they'll touch you. They are nasty. So he had, in each battle regiment, he had a unit of 9 man-skewered bolt boys, he had a unit of 6 man-skewered bolt boys, and then 2 units, I believe, of 3 man-skewered bolt boys. So he could effectively, if he so wished, he could have screened with the 6 units of man-skewered bolt boys, and he decided to do that in deployment. My Lurid Haze outflanking kind of messed that up a little for him, but he got the win. We messed up a little on some of the rules, but it was nothing big. We corrected it, and I think it was still the right outcome. He got the win. He just controlled the board. Stuff I threw into him ground certain units down, but the Slash just did not have the oomph. I had no shooting to counteract his shooting, so I had to get engaged. I was really struggling to get work done. One thing that maybe was the highlight of the tournament for me was Keeper of Secrets outflanking in my turn 1. Was a Keeper of Secrets outflanking from Lurid Haze, charging a unit of 9 man-skewered bolt boys, and the bolt boys mortal wounding, not even wounding, mortal wounding the Keeper of Secrets off the table before they got a chance to do anything. Great game, absolutely fantastic. In fact, I voted for Fish to have my game of the day. Brilliant opponent to play against. So that was the tournament. It was hosted by Chris. Check him out on Twitter at the Shropshire Gamer. Again, link will be in the description. absolute brilliant tournament. He runs one again, I am attending. It was superb, great day out. Food was provided. An awkward dietary requirement, I'm on keto, so I said that I'd sort my own food, and there was a bit of food left over, so he says help myself. So I managed to get a few burgers without the buns, even though I said I wasn't having food. Unbelievably nice of him. Great tournament organiser, everything flowed really smooth. Can't fault it, absolutely can't fault it. May be as good an experience as you can get for your first ever Age of Sigmar tournament. So that was the little overview of the tournament and some of the lists that I faced. Absolutely superb. So one more little note, at that tournament I think I got an amusing little award, which I was joking with my mate I'd race him to. Wow, sorry Lee, I beat you. I got the wooden spoon. Came last in the tournament. I took Slanesh. I didn't take a good list. I took what I wanted to put on the table because I've been working on it for months. So that's what happens when you take pretty models instead of efficient lists. Can't complain. I really enjoyed it, and the reason I can't complain is because the other award I won was a Best Painted award. That is the first award I've ever won for, or anything I've ever won for painting. I couldn't be happier. So that's going to be going on my little shelf. Awesome. Big shout out to all my opponents. Thank you very much for turning up. I'm really glad to have met people. Just for everyone that came over and gave me compliments on my Slanesh army. It's really appreciated. I had a great time, maybe the best time you could have at an Age of Sigmar tournament. It was fantastic. Big shout out to Chris. Check him out on Twitter at the Shropshire Gamer. Again, link will be in the description. Just stopping by. Catch you next week, guys. Bye. Well guys, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, like, comment and subscribe. Also be sure to check out our Facebook page at Wolfing Studios, the link's in the description. As always, thanks for stopping by, catch you next time.